and this one is underway. A high kick coming down to McCullough on the 8. He heads up the right hash, 15 to the 20, finds a little seam, cuts to his left, stumbles and falls at the 26-yard line. Jeff Graham brings Long Beach to the line. Michael Roberts, the tailback. Lafayette Shelton, the fullback. And they're in the pro set. The tight end, Brian Wiss, on the left, and they're running that way. Handoff to Roberts, and the speedy Roberts sweeping the left side. Turns it up the sideline with running room all the way to the 39-yard line before he's chased out of bounds by Anthony Mitchell. Him to pass. He's looking quickly right, now goes down the middle, tipped, intercepted by Michigan. Mitchell on his 44, heads to his left over midfield, stumbles and falls at the Long Beach State 44. Reception on the tip ball off the hands of the tight end, Brian Wiss. Brown at quarterback gives the ball to Phil Webb, and he just plows off the right side behind John Elliott and behind Jeff Brown, the tight end, down to the 40-yard line. For tight ends in the lineup, McMurtry the only wide out. 2nd and 6, Michigan on the 40. Handoff, Morris coming right, cuts back against the grain, has a little seam down to the 37-yard line. And Tim Weatherspoon, the outside linebackers, they're both good ones. 3rd down and 2, Michigan in the wishbone. 2 tight ends, and the handoff goes up the middle, and it's Gerard Bunch with a first down and more inside the 30 to the 29. Stacy Alexander, Keith Jenkins on the corners, Lane McCarthy and Mark Torville, the safeties. Here's a toss to Morris, sweep on the right. He's got a wall of blockers. Look out, down to the 30. He's hit from behind. Fights down inside the 25 to the 24. 5 for Morris, 2nd down and 5. 1 wide out in the game. Callaway to the right. He comes in motion left now. I formation. The handoff, Morris going short side of the field around the right. Hemmed in, but breaks a tackle. Fights down to the 20-yard line. He was hit in there by Philip Morrison, the outside linebacker, being pushed for All-American honors by the people at Long Beach State, and has moved from the Long Beach 44 down to the 20. Handoff, Bunch straight up the middle. He's met at the line, but fights, twists, turns, and has a first down to the 17-yard line. Split to the right, Wellborn left. First down at the 17 for Michigan. Handoff to Rod Bunch, quick opener right side. He's down to the 15, is chopped down there by the safety, Mark Torville. Bunch kept his balance, stumbled forward. They'll give his progress to the 10-yard line. 2nd and 3 from the 10. Wishbone formation with Bunch, Webb, and Morris back there. Here's a fake to Bunch. Handoff, Morris coming right. Spins away from one tackler, Akins at the 10, and fights down near the first down at the 7-yard line. Well, Keith Mitchell checks into the lineup at tight end now out of Southgate Anderson. Right. Jeff Brown on the left. Eric Walker out of this ball game with an ankle injury. Backs in the wishbone formation. The ball on the right hash. Handoff, Bunch straight up the middle. Hit at the line, but bounces off of one tackler. Andrews, the nose man, and Canes finally hauls him down at the 3-yard line. About 2:30. Handoff, Morris, right side, finds a seam, gets down to the 1, is hit there, still fighting forward through an attempted tackle by R.J. Coors, and he's finally bumped out of bounds by Coors and Alexander inside the 1-yard line. Just wouldn't allow him through.
Good play by Coors. He got out there. Jamie is a tough little runner to bring down. He's got great power. He's small. He's built low to the ground and good balance. Coors just hung on and shoved him and pushed him and got help from the inside. Finally got him out of bounds on about the 1-yard line. Michigan really looking good, and I would suspect out of the wishbone you might see Gerard Bunch here.
3rd and goal from inside the 1. Michigan with 10 running plays down to here. Handoff, Bunch over the top. He's met at the line and shoved back. Long Beach State kept him out of the end zone. Gerard Bunch, the 227-pound sophomore out of Ashtabula, was hit by 3 defenders in the middle of the line. They were led by Philip Morrison, the All-American candidate at linebacker, and they kept him out. And now it's 4th and goal with 9 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score in the ball game, and Michigan will go for it. It lines up 7 men at the line. The wishbone formation with Webb and Bunch and Morris. And it's the option left, and Brown is not going to make it. He is chopped down at the 2-yard line as Long Beach State goes wild on the eastern sideline after keeping Michigan out of there. Jim, they got penetration up front. They shoved the fullback Bunch back, and when Brown faked to him, it looked like he stumbled over Bunch's legs. Michael Roberts, Graham turns, gives to Wilson. He juggles the ball, holds on, and he snowed under right at the 2-yard line. No gain whatsoever. They were lucky they didn't lose the football. Power left behind quarterback Jeff Graham. Now Wilson splits out a few yards to his right. Graham may be throwing here with his back split wide. No, he hands to Roberts. Quick hitter up the middle. He's to the 5, out to the 10, close to a first down. It's out to the left. Washington to the right. Wilson and Michael Roberts in the I formation. Roberts wearing high-top tennis shoes. Handoff, Wilson. He hesitates. Now cuts to his right. He's got a first down. It appeared before J.J. Grant made the hit at the 13. I said first down. It's their second. They had one on the first play of the game. Handoff, Roberts going left side. He turns the corner again. Over the 20, out to the 25, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 29 by Anthony Mitchell. Long Beach averages 132 yards on the ground, 225 in the air. And now before the snap, the right guard, Phil Wright, pulled out of there early, and flags are thrown. Huntington Beach, California. So it'll be a 5-yard walk-off for illegal procedure against Long Beach State, and they'll have it 1st and 15 back on their own 19-yard line. Getting an interception on the second play of the game by Anthony Mitchell. Moved it down in 11 plays to the 1-yard line and then failed on a 4th down attempt to score. Graham, the quarterback, splits his backs, and we got more movement up front. I'll tell you what, the line backed up, and there was no snap. And it was the 49ers. So 2 consecutive illegal motion penalties. And Jerry Reisbig, who, like a lot of his players, was a JC transfer himself, coming over from Pasadena City College to the Long Beach program. Well, this might change their strategy. They might have to throw. And back goes Graham, standing in there at the 6. Fires near sideline. Really let that one get away, though, and it sails way out of bounds into the Michigan band. It's going to be tough for him to step forward and heave the long ball. And now the left tackle, Dave McKinnon, pulls up early. Now, one of the Michigan players was coming across the line, John Herman. We'll see what the officials say about it, but Long Beach is backing up toward the end zone. That's 3 illegal procedure penalties in this series, and Long Beach, which a few moments ago had a first down out at the 24, now faces 2nd and 25 from back on the 9-yard line. 2nd and 25 at the 9. They split McCullough out way wide to the right now. Washington left. Here's a draw play, and this one's going to gain nothing. Roberts hauled down right on the 10-yard line. Line of scrimmage the 10. Roberts now comes in motion right. Back to throw is Graham. Standing in there against a 4-man rush. Goes deep down the middle. Tipped off the hands of Wiss. Stood a little too high. It falls incomplete. Almost picked off by Eric Campbell. Here's the snap. No pressure. Lujan kicks it away. High but short, and Wellborn will make a fair catch at the Long Beach State 43. So Michigan again gets great field position with 5:53 remaining in the first quarter. No score in the ball game. The Wolverines began their first possession on the 44. They start this one on the 43. Right now we're getting a timeout. Ball network. Play Jamie Morris right side, and he's going to be hit at the 42. Falls forward inside the 40 somehow. I don't know how he does that, Jim. Hit 40, handoff, Phil Webb trying to get outside right. He is hit as he turned the corner. He still gets 4 yards, though, down to the 36. Wishbone formation, fake to bunch, option left, Brown. Late pitch out to Webb trying to turn the corner. Dives forward as he's hit at the 35. He's going to be close. Alexander, the corner, Stacy Alexander, was there to knock him down along with Mark Torville. And we've got an injured Wolverine as well, and that's Jeff Brown, the tight end.
Perfect for this first weekend in fall. The Wolverines, by the way, do have a wind at their back now, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And if it is a long pass, may have tough time looking up into that very strong sun as they head down to the north goal line.
Well, Michigan, meantime, will go for it on 4th down for the 2nd straight possession. On the left, wishbone formation with Webb, Morris, and Bunch. Nothing fancy. Handoff, Bunch, and he spins and falls backwards through the line and has a first down to the 32-yard line. Great running place for the Wolverines. Brown has not thrown yet, but he will here after faking to Morris. Standing in there, lofts it up, right side, and overthrows a diving trip. Wellborn at the 10-yard line. Callaway splits wide left. Wellborn's in a slot left. Now Wellborn in motion right, and a flag is thrown.
I think it was David Chester who moved, picked that hand up in the middle of that offensive line for the Wolverines, and we'll get a procedure call against Michigan.
Wolverines break the huddle. They split McMurtry out wide to the right and Wellborn in the slot to the right. Backs are Webb and Morris. They're split. Brown straight back to throw. Standing in their screen coming up to Phil Webb. Right flat. Got it at the 40. Heads upfield. Hemmed in by Keynes, the linebacker. And makes a move on him, but is hit by Pat Quigley, the other linebacker, and goes down at the 34 after a pickup of only 3. Wellborn splits to the left. Wide to the right, Callaway. Backs in the eye. Morris and Webb. Tight end Jeff Brown back in there on the left side, and Brown back to throw. Demetrius standing up at the 45. Rifles down the middle, and Callaway went between 3 defenders, made the catch, took a hit, and goes down at the 14. 20 yards and a first down, and what a grab by Chris Callaway, the sophomore out of Chicago, playing with a badly bruised thumb. To the only wide out, split to the left. 2 tight ends, Brown on the left, Mitchell on the right, and the handoff to Morris coming around the right. Looks for a block from Bunch. Gets it. Cuts back in, though, into traffic. And runs right into the white-shirted pursuing defenders of Long Beach State, led by John McMaster at the 11-yard line. State playing very hard here. They don't know that they're not supposed to stay with Michigan. Callaway split left, wishbone formation in the backfield. Second down on the 11. Option left, handoff to the fullback Bunch. He's got a couple, fights down maybe to the 8. Here at Michigan Stadium, 1:20 to go first quarter. No score between the Wolverines and Long Beach State. Michigan 3rd and 5 at the 9. Wellborn splits to the left. Wishbone in the backfield. Handoff. Jamie Morris coming right side. Cuts back against the grain. Fights inside the 5 down to the 4. I think he's got a first down. Michael McCauley, the defensive end, made the tackle. Goal to go for Michigan on the 4-yard line. Split the 4. Again the wishbone. 2 tight ends. Brown left. Mitchell right. And the play. Brown rolls to his left to throw out of the wishbone. Now he's going to take off. Gets a block from Webb at the 5. Fights through 2 tackles and goes in for a Michigan touchdown. Demetrius Brown, the junior quarterback, was hit once by the linebacker Michael Keynes, and then again near the goal line by the safety Lane McCarthy, and still fought his way in for a 4-yard touchdown run to put the Wolverines on top. 43 yards in 11 plays. That will try to make good on his 53rd consecutive extra point. The snap, a little high, but Monty Robbins has it down, so let's kick a line drive shot, gets through there. 36 seconds remaining first quarter. It's Michigan 7, Long Beach State nothing, and we pause for these words on the Michigan Football Net. Jeff Graham with his back split, hands to Michael Roberts. The little water bug trying to sweep the right is hit in the backfield and goes down. Andre McIntyre came through and spun him around by the ankles and dropped him on the 19-yard line. For the score, Michigan 7, Long Beach State nothing. Let's pause for these words on the Michigan Football Network. Straight back to throw, standing in there on the 10, goes short off the hands of Roberts. Almost intercepted by J.J. Grant. It falls incomplete. On into punt. Trip Wellborn is deep. Quick snap, and Willie kicks it away. It's a long one. Hits at the 35 and bounces away from Wellborn, who couldn't see it in the sun. Bounces inside the 20 and is finally downed inside the 15 by Michael Keynes down at the 13-yard line. Goes on offense, starting on its own 13, 1st and 10. Demetrius Brown with Webb and Morris in the eye. Michigan leading 7-0. Awaits the snap, turns, gives to Morris, going left, tries to get outside. Bursts through 3 defenders, cuts back to his right. Eludes another man at the 25. Jamie Morris up to the 30 before he is hit by Stacy Alexander at the 31. Michigan had the ball over 11 minutes. Outgained Long Beach State 90-35, scored only 7 points. First down, 44-yard line, handoff Morris coming left side, and he is hit by Nate Beaton, a junior college transfer in that defensive line now at the 45.
For the Lions.
For the Lions, I'm sorry. In motion right comes Wellborn. Brown back to throw. Blitz coming. Michigan picks it up, and Brown throws near side. Wellborn's open. Goes up and makes the catch inside the 25. Is stuck in the back by Stacy Alexander. Knocked out of bounds on the 23. It's a first down. 3 out of 4. I formation. Gerard Bunch at fullback. Fake to Morris. Back goes Demetrius to throw against the blitz down the middle. Some confusion. 2 receivers in the same area. The ball falls incomplete. And 10 Michigan on the Long Beach State 33, leading 7-0. Backs are split. Handoff Bunch coming right. Gets a block from Jamie Morris. Fights inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line. Knowing Michigan has really dominated in time of possession. Handoff Jamie Morris on 3rd and 3 off the right side. Jamie squirts down inside the 20 all the way to the 17. 8 more yards before Lane McCarthy could make the stop. But that's a first down for Michigan. First down, handoff Morris, comes up the middle, bounces it outside to his right, gets to the sideline, is bumped out at the 10 by Mark Torville, the free safety you came across, and by Stacy Alexander, the wide side corner, who's played well so far this afternoon.
Seems to be getting a little bit easier. They're getting more every down.
Wishbone formation now with McMurtry split short side of the field right. Option play, handoff Gerard Bunch straight up the middle, the fullback down to the 1, goes in, touchdown! Gerard Bunch, the fullback, up the middle out of that wishbone option look, goes 10 yards, and Michigan leads it by a score of 13-0 with 11:48 to play in the first half. Touchdown by Gerard Bunch is another Buddy's Pizza touchdown. Monty Robbins will hold for Mike Gillette's extra point attempt. The ball placed down, the kick is up, and that is 54 in a row for Mike Gillette. Michigan 14, Long Beach State nothing. These words now on the Michigan Football Network. The right hash he comes. Cuts to his right at the 25. Bounces off a man. Tries to reverse his field. leaping over the top of a Michigan defender and falls at the 27. Michigan tried to find a replacement. All they could come up with was Long Beach State. Everyone else had their schedules full. Handoff, Michael Roberts, the tailback going right and running between the tackles. The 170-pounder isn't going to gain much, and he didn't.
Great experience for their kids.
That's right. Derek Washington split to the right, McCullough to the left. Jeff Graham playing on that bad leg, not completed a pass yet. Gives the ball inside to Lafayette Shelton, his fullback, and he is tripped up as he got it up for a yard to the 28. 9 to go. Graham back. Blitz coming from Willingham. He runs up the middle. He's going to be tackled right at the line by Andre McIntyre. Goes back. He sees this one at the 27, but also sees 3 Long Beach State defenders in front of him as he heads upfield and is tackled at the 30-yard. Jamie Morris behind Demetrius Brown, who drops to throw and runs a quarterback draw. All kinds of room. 35, 40. 45 and out to the 48 or 49-yard line before he was finally tackled by the safety, R.J. Kors. Number 12 on the afternoon. Long Beach State has had 3.
And Long Beach State really allowed that play to get out there because they're so concerned with Michigan hitting the big play. Both wide receivers running deep, and those cornerbacks and safeties just turned around and never really looked at Brown, ran with the wide receivers, and that opened up the middle.
197 yards in offense. The handoff to Bunch going off the left. He just plows through. 63 yards rushing, Bunch 47, Webb 21, Brown 22. Brown has completed 3 of 5 passes for 46 yards. In motion right comes Callaway. Option look. Brown fakes to the fullback, going to keep it. He's to the 40, tries to stiff arm Torville, the safety. But Torville fights through that, holds on. Brown still has a first down to the 38. And out of there, an outside linebacker replaced by David Riley. Here's Brown with a play-action fake. Rolling left, throws to Jeff Brown. He's got it. He heads upfield inside the 25. Knocked out of bounds by the safety. Lane McCarthy on the 24. 15 more yards as the Wolverines move the football seemingly at will. 0 Michigan. Handoff, Morris deep off the left side. Squirts through. Fighting for extra yardage inside the 20 all the way to the 15-yard line.
Well, that offensive line, Frank, is just rolling through that defensive front now of Long Beach State. They've been out there an awful long time in this first half, and Michigan's superior size and strength really taking its toll rather on that those Long Beach people up front.
McMurtry splits to the right. Bunch and Morris are in the eye, and the handoff to Rod Bunch straight up the middle. He fights forward with a flag down to the 12. That'll be a first down if the penalty is not against Michigan. This is not always to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but that's the way to bet.
And Thursday, he got after it.
10-yard walk-off back to the 26 on the holding call. 2nd and 12 from there. The ball on the left hash, and Demetrius Brown shouting out something to his receivers. McMurtry left and Wellborn right. And Brown straight back to throw. Standing in there. Looks, fires far sideline. Caught by McMurtry down near the 10-yard line. He drove the corner. Stacy Alexander deep and then came back. Made the catch, and Alexander rode him out of bounds at the 12. But that's 14 yards and a first down. Michigan a first down on the 12-yard line, trying to add to its 14-0 lead. Gerard Bunch in front of Morris in the eye. Callaway split left. Wellborn in motion right. Handoff Morris right side. Big hole. No one will touch Jamie Morris. 12 yards, touchdown Michigan. And the Wolverines now lead it 20-0. And I could have run through that hole holding hands.
And what a great block by David Chester downfield. Chester had set up in a pass block situation because it was a draw. And as soon as Jamie got the ball, perfect timing, Chester headed upfield. Linebacker moving in to make the hit on Jamie, and Chester cut him right down in his tracks. And that allowed Jamie to get the last 5 yards for the touch.
Gillette to attempt the extra point. This would be 55 in a row. The snap placed down by Robbins. Kick nearly blocked by a diving Lane McCarthy, but it gets up and through. 7:01 to go first half. Michigan 21, Long Beach State nothing. These words now on the Michigan Football Network. Gillette to kick it off. Hangs it high, this time deep. McCullough. Back to the 1, starts upfield, out to the 10, up the right sideline, over the 20, and he's chased out of bounds on that far sideline. Beach State comes to the line. Jeff Graham, the quarterback, has his backs in the eye, drops to throw, fires near side, and Tyrone McCullough is hit and drops the ball as it arrives. Good coverage over there by David Arnold. Strong safety, Anthony Mitchell with an interception, the free, and back goes Graham to throw. Going short over the middle, caught by the fullback Shelton, up over the 30 and out to the 32. And we got players flying into the pile. And Shelton says, well, those are 2 of my own. J.J. Grant on the tackle on the first completion of the afternoon. But high formation now for Shelton in front of Michael Roberts, the Tailback, and Roberts gets the call, hesitates, steps forward, and is close to a first down, but Messner wraps him up at the 33.
And you turn it over.
It's not over yet either. That'll be a great upset, though, for Purdue. Demetrius Brown with Allen Jefferson at tailback gives it to the sophomore out of Dearborn, out of De La Salle, rather, and Jefferson fights over the 45 and out to the 48-yard line before Tom Keynes could make the tackle. That's a quick gain of 10 for Allen Jefferson and a first down. Yards for Michigan. Handoff straight up the middle. Phil Webb out of Romeo spinning forward to midfield for a couple.
Old pancake block. He'll get a pancake for that one.
Webb running in tandem with Allen Jefferson back there in the pro set, and Brown rolls left to throw. Jefferson staying in the block, and Brown trying to throw on the run under some pressure is hit and fires it incomplete. Coming from Lemuel Hawkins, a sophomore out of Compton, California. 3rd down and 8 from midfield now. Backs in the I formation. Jefferson and Bunch in there. McMurtry split right. Wellborn left, and Brown's back to throw. Standing in there, lofts it up near side. Look out. Intercepted by Keith Jenkins at the 30. He's bumped out of bounds immediately by McMurtry, but the Wolverines turn it over with 4:29 remaining in the half. And Jeff Graham's back to throw. Setting up deep. They want to get a screen, but Roberts is well covered. He just throws it away on the far sideline. David Arnold scrambling out there trying to pick it off. Shelton and Roberts. And Graham straight back to throw. Standing in there at the 25. Goes short under the coverage. Oh, poor Michael Roberts. Hit as he caught the ball at the 36 by McIntyre and buried right there. Kick it away. Trip Wellborn deep. Quick snap. And Lujan boots it high and short. This one will hit at the 35, go straight up in the air. The Wolverines try to jump out of the way, and it's down by the 49ers on the Michigan 37-yard line. On the Michigan 21, Long Beach State nothing, Football Network. And the Wolverines split both their receivers to the left. McMurtry and Callaway. Callaway in motion right. It's a draw play to Jefferson. Up the middle with running room. 45 out to the 46. And short of the first down as he was tackled by Mark Torville. Only one wide receiver this time. That's Wellborn to the right. 2 tight ends. Mitchell left, Brown right. Handoff. Webb. He just picks his way up the middle, and the fullback has a first down to the Long Beach State 48-yard line. 6 more yards. 1st and 10 at the 49ers 48. And Brown fakes to Webb. Rolls left to throw. Chased by the linebacker Morrison. Eludes him. Runs upfield. He's into Long Beach State territory. Over the 45. Down to the 42. Coach Red Berenson will be his guest. Here's the option play. Brown running it right, keeping it inside the 40. A late pitch back to Jefferson. He juggles, holds on, up the sideline, inside the 30 to the 27, where R.J. Coors bumped him out. 15 yards, another first down for Michigan, and they'll probably split that yardage between Brown and Jefferson because of the late toss. On the play, Michigan 306 yards in offense. 1:39 to go first half. It's 21-0. And Michigan formation for Jefferson and Webb. Brown gives on a draw, and this time Jefferson is hit and fumbles. And it looks like Long Beach State has recovered, and they have. Philip Morrison has the ball out at the 34. Jeff Graham will try to get him on the board. They're on their own 34, and Graham turns and gives to Michael Roberts. He goes off the left side over the 35 out to the 40, and he's chopped down by David Arnold out at the 44. To go in the half, handoff to Lafayette Spencer, the fullback, Shelton rather, and he goes up the middle, gets a first down to the 44, and Long Beach State now trying to line up quickly again. Stopped while the chains are moved, and he drops back to throw. He's looking deep, now looking to his left, gets some pressure, rolling out, fires, incomplete. Down the right sideline line for Tyrone McCullough in the first half. He used up a lot of time scampering around Jim, but he did elude the rush back there. And Graham on 2nd down at his own 44 may have used too much time, or somebody there has some movement. And we get the 4th illegal procedure penalty against Long Beach State this afternoon. Herman and Fulkertsman. Here's Graham setting up the throw, getting pressure. He's hit, but he bounces off with 2 men. Scrambling around back at the 25, and Carlitos has got him and hauls him down at the 23 for a big loss. From T.J. Osmond. And finally, Carlitos made the sack for a 16-yard loss on the 23. 9 seconds left in the half.
Well, what a great job he did, too, because he saw the sack, thought it was coming, and then he rushed outside, hurried real quickly to get outside and stop him and gain containment and make the sack.
Long Beach State lets the clock run out. We go down to Warren Pierce with 49ers coach Jerry Rice-Big.
I suppose one of the highlights had to be stopping Michigan on the 2 on the series they had.
Oh, yeah, that was a highlight, but, you know, we just have to get into sync. We're not doing anything offensively. We're making 1,000 mental mistakes. Our kids will just settle down, and we can keep the ball away from them a little bit. It'll be a little better ball game.
You're changing defensively. I suppose that's to keep fresh troops in there because Michigan has maintained ball control.
Oh, they sure have, and we got to stop that.
All right, Warren. Thank you, Jerry Reisbig, the head coach at Long Beach State. Well, I tell you, we're way behind on commercials because there were few interruptions in play in that first half. So network stations, listen very carefully now. We're going to be changing things on the fly here. Pause for 2 minutes for these words on the Michigan Football Network. Niners will kick the ball to Michigan to begin the second half of play. David Van Steenkist will boot it away. Back deep for the Wolverines, Alan Jefferson and Phil Webb standing at the 5-yard line. Baseball score, the Tigers don't have the Willies so far today. They're up 3-0 after 1 inning. Here's Van Steenkist's boot. Sailing down to Webb on the 3. He comes up the middle 10, cuts to his right at the 15. Tries to cut through traffic and is really drilled at the 20-yard line on the right. And the handoff goes to Morris, coming short side right, finds a seam up to the 30. Looks for a block from Vitale, cuts back to his left, and he's in the open field at the 50, the 45, the 40. Chased from behind by Jenkins, and Jamie Morris is hauled down by Keith Jenkins at the Long Beach State 22-yard line. 57 yards for Jamie Morris on the first play of the third quarter.
Want you to know Jamie made a great cut. 2 great cuts, actually. One of them right at the point of attack. He bounced it outside. Saw the pursuit of Long Beach State very quick to cut him off to the outside. Broke back against the grain and just was off to the races.
So the Wolverines come out on fire on the first play of the third quarter. Handoff to Rod Bunch, and the fullback out of Ashtabula powers into the middle of the line down to the 20 for 2 yards. The I formation in the backfield now with Alan Jefferson in there at tailback. Takes a toss, going right, gets running room down to the 15, up the sideline, 10, 5, touchdown! Alan Jefferson, the speedster out of De La Salle, turns it upfield 20 yards off a block from his fullback, Gerard Bunch, and Michigan, just like that, leads it 27-0, going 79 yards in just 3 plays.
Again, we saw Jefferson absolutely explode through that hole, Frank. That great quickness. He saw the 2 blockers in front of them. As soon as they started their block, he just exploded through the middle of them and then used that great speed to turn it up outside and get into the end zone.
Mike Gillette to attempt the extra point. This will be 56 in a row if he makes it. Out of the hold of Monty Robbins. The snap a little high again. The kick is up, and it is good. 13:44 to play in the third quarter. Michigan 28, Long Beach State nothing. These words now on the Michigan Football Network. Jefferson's kick, a long one. Say goes back, falls down. The ball hits him in the back and goes out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Disaster for Long Beach State as Mark Say, the return man, went to the far sideline for the football. Jim, I've never seen anything quite like that.
No, he just absolutely slipped, and the ball hit him on the back and bounced up, and he didn't know where it was. And finally, another deep man had to come over and actually punch the ball out of bounds, and it was Tyrone McCullough who finally got the ball and out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
Quarterback Jeff Graham with his work cut out here. He's got Rico Wilson in that backfield along with Rico Wilson at fullback. The handoff to Roberts, coming left, looks for a hole, gets it out to the 5, the 6-yard line. Warren. Second down and 7 for Long Beach State. Rico Wilson and Michael Roberts in the eye now. They're on their own 6-yard line. Here's the handoff to Roberts going left, hit by J.J. Grant, spins forward out to the 9-yard line. 28-0 handoff. Michael Roberts, and he's hit almost immediately by Messner. Back on the 18-yard line. A great job up front by Mark Messner. He have 3 on the play. Inside you got McIntyre and Grant. Second down, quick toss to Roberts trying to go left. Turns it outside, gets to the 25, puts his head down, and is bounced out of bounds by Anthony Mitchell at the 27. Wilson and Roberts are split. Handoff. Roberts going right, and Messner's back there with him and hauls him down back on the 24. What a series of plays for Mark Messner. Each state will have to punt.
Messner is using that great quickness that he has, and he's just able to run right through that block.
On the punt by Willie Lujan, flags down. The kick is a short one. Wellborn lets it hit near midfield. It bounces toward the Long Beach State bench and will go out of bounds around the 43.
He'll say, you should have been off anyway.
First down on the 43, and here's a handoff to Jamie Morris, and he doesn't have much running room this time as he comes off the right, hit by the linebacker Tom Keynes at the 45. Got Morris and Webb in the eye. Wellborn and Callaway split left. Now they've got to hurry. That 25-second clock running out. Snap goes. The fake to Morris. Back goes Brown. Being blitzed by Keynes. Going to be tackled for a loss. Back on the 32-yard line by the blitzing inside linebacker Tom Keynes. It's McMurtry split left. Wellborn right. Brown back to throw. Nearly falls. Now sets up and heaves it deep. Wellborn trying to race under it, but it sails over his head in double coverage. Incomplete at the 15-yard line.
That happened.
Back deep, Stacy Alexander. He's had a touchdown return this year, and Robbins hits it away. Hits it well. Alexander back to his own 15. Goes to his right. Sees David Arnold. Cuts back to his left. Eludes Hassel, but is hit and drilled at the 22 or 23 by Doug Mallory, and down he goes right there. Goes to throw. Throws right sideline. Derek Washington goes up, makes a fine catch in front of the Michigan bench. Bounced out of bounds by Mitchell. Roberts trying to get outside around the right. He cuts upfield over the 40 and out to the 44. Here's a toss to the new tailback. That's Anthony Ford. Ford going left, breaks a tackle, cuts up over midfield, runs into McIntyre finally, and goes down on the Michigan 48.
I'll tell you, the injuries to Michigan, you talked about it with Bo Schembechler prior to the game, Frank. It's just been an epidemic. And the other thing that's tough about that is that the injuries, it seems, have all come on the defensive side of the ball. You just can't afford injuries at all, and when they come on one side of the football almost, and it kills you.
Well, especially when that's the side of the ball Michigan was trying to rebuild this year. And they've lost so many fine players. Mark Spencer, Curtis Feaster, Steve Thiebert, Mike Teeter. Now in this game, Keith Cooper, and now Andre McIntyre's hurt. Shelton straight up the middle, plows forward, first down to the 35-yard line.
AstroTurf here, they are undoing now his left knee pad. So it is a left knee injury, and it has him in severe pain at this point.
What about Keith Cooper? Any word on him?
We'll update you on that in just a minute.
All right now Long Beach State comes to the line, 1st and 10 at the Michigan 35. Milligan and Grant inside. Now Andre McIntyre, Michigan's leading tackler with a knee injury. Handoff, Michael Roberts, stutter stepping up the middle, fights down to the 31-yard line. 2nd down and 6 for Long Beach State. Michigan showing blitz here from the corner. It's quarterback sneak, and Graham fumbles. The ball bounces in the air and is recovered by Anthony Mitchell on the Michigan 21. To Jamie Morris coming right. He's up to the 25. He's hit by Keynes. Keeps those legs driving, though, and he's out to the 29. Jamie Morris, who gets the call, coming left. Gets it up to the 32. And he's hauled down there. Maybe the 33. Philip Morrison on the tackle. The 3rd place on the all-time Michigan rushing list.
Billy Taylor, a guy that I played with, Frank. The records are falling, and I'm getting further and further back in the record book. Of course, I've never been in the record book.
Your skill stands for most lunches eaten one season.
Absolutely right.
Hand off to Rod Bunch going right. He bounces it outside around the linebacker Witherspoon over the 35. Run out of bounds near the 40 with a flag down on the play. I formation behind Brown. In motion left Callaway. Here's a toss to Morris running left. He eludes 2 men, cuts back into the middle, and races up to the 25. That's a 2-yard gain out of what should have been a 5-yard loss.
The snap, but Jamie was able to get 2 out of it.
2nd down, 18 to go. Brown straight back to throw. Stands in at the 15, fires short to Jeff Brown. He's wide open and dropped the ball out at the 35.
That was his mistake. If it were on the other side of the field, he might not feel so bad. But, boy, right now.
And my ears are burning.
Oh, Jeffrey, I want you to know, you're not going to have a tougher day than you just had in that last 30 seconds.
You are the worst receiver I have ever laid my eyes on.
No, he might have said you're the worst receiver in the history of intercollegiate football on that one.
3rd down and 18. Michigan on its own 25. The snap, and Brown gives on a draw to Morris. Picking his way. Pulls away from a jersey tackle over the 30 to the 35, and he's finally hit by the linebacker John McMaster out around the 37 or 38. Well short of a 1st down. Seeing the snap. There it is. No pressure. Robbins kicks it away, and oh, does he hit this one. Alexander going back, grabs it on the 5, runs to his left, chased by Bostic, stops, reverses his field up over the 10, cuts up the middle, hit by Hassel at the 17, fumbles the ball, and it looks like Michigan has it. And they do at the 18-yard line. But hold on, there is also a flag down on the return. Stacy Alexander did some great running, but when he was hit, he fumbled the ball away. And the Wolverines came up with it. And down at the bottom of the pile with the football is David Arnold. Long Beach State on the return, and Michigan will have the football at the 18-yard line. 28-0 takes over on the 18 of Long Beach State. High formation, draw play. Jefferson coming up the middle, big hole, 15, 10, puts a move on and is tripped up at the 5 by Kors, falls forward to the 3-yard line. 15 yards for Allen Jefferson. And Jim, the great thing there, he showed more than great straightaway speed. He put a move on in there on Kors and nearly went all the way.
Feels that his running back should beat that man. And Allen Jefferson very nearly did.
With 2:48 to go here in the third quarter. Michigan up 28-0. Knocking at the door now. First and goal down on the 3. Wishbone formation. Jefferson, Webb, and Bunch in there. Option left. Brown fakes to Bunch. Going to keep it. Late toss to Webb. Coming around the left. Run out of bounds at the 2. We'll go downstairs quickly, Jim. I don't want to ruin your thought train, but Warren Pierce standing by those injuries to McIntyre and Keith Cooper.
On his left Achilles tendon. They've wrapped that in ice as well, and they're trying to figure out what went wrong. But that's probably the worst of the injuries, looks to me, as I look down here at Andre, is his left Achilles tendon.
Second and goal, Michigan down on the 2. The wishbone with Webb and Bunch and Jefferson behind Demetrius Brown. The ball on the left hash. This time they run power off tackle, and Jefferson runs right into the linebacker, Tim Witherspoon. What a job he did, fighting off the block of David Chester and making the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Great.
Philip Morrison, an outside backer. They're really a pretty good, solid group of linebackers, and that time, I'll tell you what, Witherspoon absolutely crushed the block of David Chester. Just came in there and with one arm was able to wrestle Allen Jefferson down.
Third and goal at the 2. Keith Mitchell, who was in as the second tight end, is out of there now, and Bob Cernak, formerly a quarterback, is in his place. Ball in the center of the field. And out of the wishbone, the handoff to Bunch, and Bunch is stood up, coming right up the middle. Long Beach State just would not allow him in. Penetration, along with Al Akins, I do believe, down at the bottom of the pile, and Tom Caines. And Michigan is going for it again. They were stopped down here, remember, on their first possession of the ball game. 8-0. Michigan, 4th and goal at the 1. They got 2 tight ends, Brown right, Mitchell left, wishbone formation, Jefferson, Webb, and Bunch in there. Here's a handoff to Webb, coming left, fighting forward, through the tackle of Kors into the end zone, touchdown. Phil Webb goes over from a yard out, 18 yards in 5 plays after Arnold's fumble recovery, and Michigan leads 34-0. And
nothing fancy, Frank, just that power off tackle out of the wishbone, and Webb did a great job, got contact at the 1, and then just ran through it into the end zone.
1:02 remaining. Michigan 18 yards, 5 plays to score. And Mike Gillette now comes out to attempt his 57th consecutive extra point. Another high snap, but Robbins has it down. The kick is good. Michigan 35, Long Beach State nothing. These words now on the Michigan Football Network. Grabs it on the 6. Up the left side he comes, 15-20. He's hit by Tim Williams as he crossed the 25 out to the 27. Still at quarterback, gives to Michael Roberts, and the little tailback just picking his way up the middle, gets to about the 29. That's seconds to go in the quarter. Graham back to throw, standing in there, fires the ball, tipped by Milligan, and nearly intercepted. Couldn't quite come down with it. Third down, Graham brings his team to the line. He splits Washington to the left and McCullough to the right, drops to throw. Big blitz coming, and they've got him. Andre McIntyre on top of the pile, back at the 18-yard line. Andre McIntyre, J.J. Grant, J.J. Grant with a sack. They'll mark it on the 19-yard line, a loss of 10, and the clock will run out on the third quarter with a score. Michigan 35, Long Beach State nothing. We'll pause for these words on the Michigan Football Network. Really booms it out of there. Wellborn comes to his right, grabs it on the 41, hesitates, now cuts up the sideline in front of the Michigan bench and is run out of bounds around the 47. State has not been shut out since 1978 when they were blanked by Pacific 14-0. Here's Demetrius Brown back to throw on first down. He's going deep, far sideline. Wellborn goes up. Can't hold the ball, and did he pay for the effort? And 10 Michigan on its own 47. Wolverines decide to work on the pass. McMurtry split right, Callaway left. Jefferson and Bunch in the I formation. And Brown's back to throw. Fakes the draw. Under some pressure, goes down the middle. McMurtry's got it on a crossing route. The two defenders run into each other, and McMurtry is gone. 53 yards for a touchdown for Greg McMurtry on a crossing route. The corner and the safety collided, and McMurtry was off to the races, and the Wolverines lead 41-0.
Frank, that was the same pattern we saw thrown earlier where McMurtry and Callaway were too close together, where Callaway ran the deep post and McMurtry dragged across the middle. This time they separated that a little bit. McMurtry beat the coverage, caught the ball, and the corner that was covering Callaway deep came off and knocked his own defender off of it, and after that, McMurtry was gone.
Mike Gillette to attempt number 58 in a row. The snap placed down, the kick is up, and it is good. It's Michigan 42, Long Beach State nothing, and we pause for these words on the Michigan Football Network. Long Beach State on offense, toss to Michael Roberts, or check that Anthony Ford, the new tailback in there. Coming around the left, cuts upfield out to the 37. Again for you in a moment. Michigan, after 3 quarters, 23 first downs to 8. Had 409 total yards to 112. It's up to 462 with a 53-yard touchdown. 337 yards rushing. And his fullback over his head, incomplete.
There to help him.
Third down, Graham back, getting some late pressure, goes down the middle. Diving interception down there by Hassel. Rick Hassel in the ball game at safety. Makes a diving pick off that pass intended for Derek Washington, and Michigan has its second interception. Its 4th turnover of the ball game, and the Wolverines with a 42-0 lead take over on the Long Beach State 49. I hope you have a good trip home. Michael Taylor out of the wishbone option goes right, spins down to the 43-yard line, a gain of 6. You know, Long Beach State's approaching this game the right way, Jim. They had a big Rotary Club pep rally earlier in the week and play with the big boys. They played hard today, even though they've been down 35-0. You still see them pursuing out there. They're fighting hard. They know they're overmatched.
Yeah, added to their problems.
Out of the wishbone, Jefferson gets the call. Going right. He's hit once, hit twice, and goes down at the 40. And here's Taylor on a fumbled snap. And he just dove down, but we had whistles and a flag thrown too, so hold on. 12-17 left in the ball game here. Michigan leading it comfortably, 42-0. Michael Taylor drops back on 3rd and 6. Standing in there, gets a blitz. He eludes the charging defender Quigley, delivers the ball right side. It is caught down the right sideline, and this is going to be close to a first down, caught by Bob Cernak. Michael Taylor with a wishbone behind him, turns, gives the ball to Bunch, and Bunch bursts through down to the 25-yard line. Boy, he was through there in a hurry. He's finally hauled down at the 24. Bunch, and the handoff to Jefferson coming right. And this play is strung out nicely by the defensive end Guy Moore, and he'll haul down Jefferson after a gain of just a couple to the 21. One tight end, Cernak on the left. The backs are split. Jefferson and Bunch. Michael Taylor turns, gives to Jefferson, running left, gets a good block from Cernak down to the 15, bursts outside at the 10, and couldn't get it quite down to the end zone. Jefferson hauled down by Stacy Alexander at the 7 after Alexander fought off the block by wide receiver Chris Callaway. First and goal on the 7. 2 tight ends, Cernak right, Mitchell left. Wishbone formation. Here's a fake, and Brown rolling out to his right. He's going to take off. He's to the 5, fights through 2 tackles and goes in. Demetrius Brown. Michael Taylor doing what Demetrius Brown did earlier. And Michael taking off after a couple of fakes out of the wishbone. The fakes to the left. Michael Taylor going to his right, fighting off 2 tacklers at the goal line, just as Demetrius did on the first touchdown of the game. And the Wolverines lead it 48-0. Well, Bo'd be yelling at me right now, too, Jim, for losing concentration. 7-yard TD for Michael Taylor, and now Mike Gillette will attempt his 7th extra point of the ball game. Ball placed down, the kick is up, and it is good. 10:21 left in the game. It is Michigan 49, Long Beach State nothing, and we pause for these words on the Michigan Football Network. Of Highland Park, supposed to be a great one. The running play comes off the right side. It's Anthony Ford with the ball. We got a new quarterback in, Paul Oates, for Long Beach State. Ford races out to the 37 and got 7 yards. And a handoff goes to Ford, coming right, fights forward over the 40 for a first down to the 41. So also with an interception, the fumble recovery at Strong. Guard free, and there's a running play. Ford sweeping left with flags down, and he is hit by LaFontaine as he turned the corner up to the 43, a gain of 2. Penalty back to the 36, makes it 1st and 15. Oates turns, tosses it to Anthony Ford, sweeping the right, turns it upfield. Osmond gets out there from middle guard, runs him out of bounds as he crossed the 40. Power right. Ford's lined up almost 8 yards deep. Oates turns to Ford, whistles blow, and he may have used too much time. Paul Oates, the quarterback, has thrown 15 passes this year, completed only 4. He turns, gives the ball to Anthony Ford, coming up the middle. Ward Manuel greets him in a hurry and hauls him down at the 36. A 1-yard gain. He rifles one. Washington goes up, makes a great catch on the slant, cuts upfield inside the Michigan 45, hauled down by Anthony Mitchell at the 44, and that is a first down, a pickup of 20 yards. First down at the Michigan 44, gives it to Anthony Ford coming right, and he is hit by Osmond. Gets the formation, Ford the tailback in motion right, a fake, and Oates rolls left to throw. Setting up, gets in some trouble, runs up the middle, gets to the 40, and he's hit by Simpson, and the freshman out of Highland Park hauls him down at the line of scrimmage. Quickly fires far side, incomplete. Good play by Ward Manuel. He might have gotten a hand on that one, Jimmy. He was being blocked wide, and when he saw Oates wind up the throw, he stuck a big paw up there and batted it, I think, just enough so that it fell short of the... Takes off to the sideline. Oh, he was really pummeled out of bounds by Osmond at the 30-yard line. And here's Oates giving the ball to his tailback Ford, and Ford tries to cut back against the grain up the middle and gets to the 29 in Football Network. Both hurt today. Handoff, Anthony Ford coming right side on 3rd and 6. Gets it down to about the 26 for 3 yards. Here's 4:50 remaining in the game. 4th down, a long 3 coming up. Quick toss to Anthony Ford trying to sweep right. He's hemmed in. The Wolverines are going to hold him. They stop him back on the 28. That second defensive unit knows that if it gives up a touchdown here, it's going to hear about it all week, and they really pursued to the ball and hauled down Ford for a loss, and the Wolverine offense will take over on the 29. Washington, D.C., a walk-on. The handoff goes to a new tailback, Tracy Williams, who was a standout in the spring game, and he comes off the right side and puts his shoulder down and gets it all the way to the 37-yard line for 8. And we'll try to set everybody as we go along here. Horn at fullback. The handoff goes to Tracy Williams, left side. He busts through the line, breaks a tackle at midfield, up the sideline, all the way to the 40-yard line before he stumbled and was hauled down by Keith Washington in that secondary. But there's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage, so hold on. That great burst by Tracy Williams is going to be wiped out by a holding call.
Michigan offensive line, youngsters mostly inexperienced, and this is where you get the opportunity to learn in-game situations like this. And, of course, that young group of kids are the depth players that Michigan wants to get in and have this. Really, they want to have them get this experience, because with the number of injury problems that Michigan has, some of these kids may have to see action in spot duty in some situations where there's some pressure.
Here's Michael Taylor back. Broken play. Taylor running to his right at the 15, running for his life. Up over the 20 to the 30, and he goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Michael Taylor goes back to throw, standing in there after a play-action fake. Fires near side, juggled, almost intercepted by Keith Washington. He dropped the ball. Then back at his own 15, awaiting the snap. Dave Weil doing the honors. Stacey Alexander back deep. The snap, no pressure, and Robbins kicks it away. Poor kick this time. A high, short one. The up man is going to juggle and hold on to it at the 44-yard line.
57 Deaver in the game, and he's listed as an offensive guard, and they've got him in at defensive tackle.
First down. And 5 to go for Long Beach State. Backs in the eye, and they're running the ball. Hand the ball to Anthony Ford. He's going to be drilled in the backfield by Deaver. Bishop on the other, and here's Oates back. Broken play. He missed his back. He turns it upfield, slides down at the Michigan 48. Frank Petroff. Third down and 3 from the Michigan 48. Backs in the eye, and here's the handoff to Anthony Ford. He's hit once, but fights forward. Neil Simpson got him, though, at the 47, and down he goes.
And
Deaver was in there with Petrov and looked pretty good up front.
Yeah, both Petrov and Deaver here have looked pretty good from that defensive tackle spot. That time they combined on slowing the running back Ford down until Simpson could get to him and haul him down. 4th down and 1, and, of course, the 49ers from Cal State Long Beach will go for it.
Mark Say split to the right. Derek Washington left. 4th down, the handoff to the fullback, and this is not going to work. Rico Wilson is buried right at the 46. Group of defensive replacements celebrates coming off the field. They want the shutout now.
You bet, and all the coaching staff is over there with him, too, and congratulating him as they come off the field.
So Michigan goes on offense now. Michael Taylor tosses it back to Tracy Williams coming around the left. High steps it over. One man. Oh, as he got to the 45, he was tripped up and goes down. The linebacker, check it, R.J. Kors, the safety, got out there.
Moves of an Allen Jefferson, if you will. He's got that quick, explosive power, and he accelerates through a hole.
8 carries. This time the handoff goes to the fullback, Chris Horn. He comes off the right side, and the sophomore out of Huntsville, Alabama, fights forward for a first down to the 37 at 49-0. Horn and Williams in the eye behind Michael Taylor, and the toss to Williams, sweeping the right, looks for room, fights upfield to the 35. He got a couple. That'll be it. 5 seconds left, the clock running. Michigan with this one safely salted away. Michael Taylor gets a snap a little bit early, and he wasn't ready for that. He just grabs it and tries to pick his way forward, gets a yard or so, and the clock winds down. To 10 seconds, the cloud will chant it off. Down to 2 seconds and 1, and that's it. Michigan has won its 2nd straight game after bouncing back from the Notre Dame loss, winning at 49-0. And we go downstairs. Warren Pierce with one of the defensive stars, Anthony Mitchell.
Anthony Mitchell, anything unsuspecting this afternoon?
Not really. They came out with a basic offense, and we were pretty much ready for everything they had to throw at us. So I felt the whole defense played the whole game, played a great game, even the guys, 13 and 14 players.
Were they running more than you thought they would initially? Because they used to be known for a passing team.
Yeah, they came out and tried to run the ball on us a little bit, and hey, we knew we were gonna have to stop the run. It was already planned,
This prepare you now for Wisconsin in the Big Ten season?
Oh yeah, we think we're ready for it. We got to go in at it hard.
All right, thanks a lot, and good luck next week.
All right, thank you.
Anthony Mitchell, who had a big game for Michigan today, an interception early in the contest that turned the momentum in a hurry, and then a fumble recovery later in the ball game as Michigan went on to beat Long Beach State by a final score of 49-0. Well, I'll tell you what, network stations, we're a commercial behind. That's been happening a lot today, sometimes does in games like this one. So we'll take that right now along with our game-ending spot. Okay, you take those positions together now as we tell you. Michigan beat Long Beach State 49-0. And we'll be back with post-game coverage after these words on the Michigan Football Network.